Now, Douglas, earlier today, 2 National Guard troops were shot just blocks from the White House. DC Metro Police quickly confirmed that at least one suspect was taken into custody. Now, we are speaking just a few hours after this incident, and we don't really have much detail on any motives or the assailant. But I want to play you this clip from MSNBC, or they call themselves MS now. This is their justice and intelligence correspondent, Ken Delanian.
But of course, there's so much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE, who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks. And so you don't know, people walking around with uniforms in an American city. There are some Americans that might object to that. And so apparently this shooting has happened.
Douglas, let me take the most charitable interpretation of that. The media demonises ICE agents, and so we shouldn't be shocked when law enforcement officers are attacked, not when they are painted as, I guess, fascists and Nazis.
Well, just take two things that cretin did there. The first is to imply that people in uniforms in American cities is somehow outrageous and provocative. No, it's been the norm in civilized societies that don't fall apart, that you have police and others who enforce the law, and yeah, they wear uniform. There's nothing new or particularly scandalous or disgraceful about that. And as for, did you notice that little drive-by that he did about the ICE agents wearing masks? Why do some ICE agents wear masks? It's because Antifa and others who wear masks, and again, I'd love to hear MSNBC commentators criticize all of those Antifa people who pretend that, among other things, they're still deeply fearful about COVID and cover their faces whenever they do anything. They don't get the criticism for that. But yes, some ICE agents do cover their faces because they know that there is such hatred being whipped up of ICE agents who are federal agents. There is such hatred being whipped up that they are likely to be doxxed, their homes found out, their families identified, their names identified. That's a very shocking thing in itself, that there is a culture in America of radicals covering their faces. In response to the radicals doing that, some federal agents feel the need to cover their faces, and it's the federal agents who get the blame for it. But yes, you're right. I mean, the whipping up of hatred against federal agents who are doing their job and are enforcing the law, it's really appalling, and it follows on, of course, the anti-ICE rhetoric follows on years of anti-police rhetoric in the US. Don't forget, we're only 5 years out of the period where all of these Democrats who now want to run for office are trying to pretend that they didn't claim that the American police needed totally to be defunded, and that the American cops are all racists. And Zohran Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York, said that the NYPD, the New York police, have their boots on the throats of New Yorkers. I mean, yeah, people who think that language is important, and yes, it can lead to dehumanization and violence, should just look at the years of dehumanizing rhetoric about police, about ICE agents and others.
And there's no sense of responsibility, accountability at all from members of the media who have whipped up this absolute hysteria and hatred of law enforcement. Now, Douglas, I've been waiting to speak to you about this one. This is, again, only in Britain story. British woman who was the victim of a serious assault that left her hospitalised has now been convicted of a hate crime because she used the F word, a homophobic slur, to describe her alleged attacker. The mother of 4, Elizabeth Keeney, was charged and has now pled guilty to causing to be sent by public communication network an offensive, indecent, obscene or menacing message. She's been handed a 12-month community order, and she has requirements to undertake 72 hours of unpaid work and 10 days of rehabilitation activity. I mean, this just on the face of it looks so utterly absurd. And this text message was sent to a friend who then dobbed her in, Douglas.
I mean, it's so disgraceful. Do we know, by the way, whether the man who attacked her has been caught or convicted?
That's not clear yet. That's
No.
not clear yet. We're still calling him an alleged attacker.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know, because it's a classic case of what we've discussed before, that the police will go after the crimes that are restful for them to go after. They'll go after the keyboard warrior, who sent a tweet that they don't like, because it's easier than chasing burglars and so on. And this is another case that, first of all, I mean, what a disgraceful friend that woman has. But
Exactly.
what business are private communications to the police? Where is any sense of proportion about the fact that, yes, a victim of crime after the crime may well say lots of angry things because they've been a victim of crime, and they shouldn't be, and the police should be on top of these things, and a woman should not be able to be assaulted freely on the streets. I mean, yes, people get angry, and sometimes people say stupid things or mean things when they are angry, as you're likely to be after being a victim of a violent assault. But what the hell is that the business of the police in any way? And, that's an unpleasant term. But so what? So what? There's lots of unpleasant terms in the world. There are lots of things that are offensive. Who was offended by this exactly? What harm was caused? She didn't walk down a street and shout at some gay person, presumably. No, she just used it as one of a set of ways to let off steam and anger, presumably, about her attacker. And no one was hurt, unlike in the attack on her. This is classic modern Britain, classic modern Britain.
It is, and it's become one of those only in Britain stories. This is what Britain is becoming known for, this sort of madness. And I wonder whoever forms government next, whether they're going to tackle this in any meaningful way. Douglas, before you go, we haven't spoken about Meghan Markle for a while, and we've got to correct that. There are reports that she is having her formal titles, the Duchess of Sussex, announced by her staff before she enters the room, even if that room has only one or two people in it. What's your reaction to this, to the Duchess of Sussex being formally announced whenever she enters the room? It's just another task for her staff members to tick off.
It's another demonstration of her wonderful egalitarianism, isn't it, Rita? I mean, there's another way to see this, of course, which is that if you were standing in a room in Montecito or wherever it is, and you were innocently going about your business, and some people appear at the door and they say, the Duchess Meghan Markle is about to come in, it gives you a few seconds to scram, doesn't it?
That's a good point.
It can act as a warning to anyone who doesn't want to be immediately pitched about her homemade jam, and doesn't want to be recruited into being one of her new best friends who can appear on her lamentable Netflix series and pose as her best friend, even though it turns out that they've never met before. So yeah, I think it's a great clearing device, the whole thing. Yeah.
I am shocked that she fooled everyone for so long. She didn't fool me, Douglas. I said from the start there are red flags with this girl. There's just so much that didn't seem right. But we forget, in all the victim playing that we have seen since from the couple, she was absolutely adored and celebrated by the British public. She was massive. They were talking about her being the most popular royal there at one point before, they got to know her.
But all she had to do, as I've said many times, all she had to do, and all that her husband had to do, was to dedicate their lives to public service. And then she can have all the duchessing, and she can have all the announcers in rooms, sharp, sharp, the Duchess is here. And you can have all of that, all the bells and whistles. You can have the castles and the stately, apartments in Kensington Palace and much more. But the deal is that you devote your life to public service and you go and do all that stuff that figures in the royal household like Princess Anne do. It's not glamorous. Opening a new gymnasium of a primary school in a neighboring constituency, opening a wing of a hospital, and so on. And also raising money for good causes, genuinely good causes, doing charitable events all the time, real things that actually get acquire funds and improve people's lives. And so many good causes that modern Britain could have support in. They could have done all of that and they would be beloved. But they chose the other route, which was not public service, but private enrichment. And that's why I'm afraid, yes, what should have been a golden couple in the royal family, it has become this sort of laughing stock where they sort of basically excavate their lives in public for ever smaller returns because there's ever less that they can give, and that's why they've turned from being the potential stars of the British monarchy to flogging overpriced watery jam from somewhere in California.
Douglas Murray, thank you so much for your time.
Great pleasure.